Have you ever felt like you're just inches away from something bigger, like ready to earn more or create more impact, or maybe play a larger game, but something invisible seems to be holding you back? I'm Valerie, and this month on Business by Design podcast, I'm doing something a little different. I want to welcome you to the Breakthrough Mindset series. This is going to be a series of about 5 episodes, and each episode builds on the previous one. So be sure to catch them all. The last episode will air on February 6th. So let's start with identifying the barriers between you and your next level of success. Join me.
Hello, I'm Valerie Priester, and this is the Business by Design podcast. Are you a woman entrepreneur who absolutely loves what you do and enjoy helping others, but for some reason, you can't seem to get out of your own way? You can't seem to get out of your head and really create the level of success that you desire? I get it. I truly understand. I've been there too. You see, I spent years searching for what do they call it? The holy grail, the secret sauce, right? To success. And what I learned along the way is all of the women that I knew that were very successful had one thing in common, and that was their way of thinking. Now, I know you may be saying it can't be that simple, can't be that easy, right? But the truth is, the number one key or secret, however you want to label it, to success is your way of thinking. It's your mindset. It's what you believe and what you think is possible for you. And so that's exactly why I created this podcast. I want to help you get out of your head, get out of your own way. I want to help you get into more profits, more passion, and more power. I want to help you to shift away from old beliefs and release old ways of thinking, self-sabotaging conversations, and help you shift into new beliefs that support your goals and bring lasting success. I want to help you design your victory so you can create the business and life that you desire. So if you're ready for some real talk about how to do that, if you're ready to really make the shift and move into greater possibilities and greater success, you're in the right place.
Let's explore what's really stopping you from breaking through to your next level of success. Let's really uncover those hidden barriers and set the stage for your biggest leap of faith ever, right? I know from experience that until we have this breakthrough in our mindset, it's difficult for us to take the large leaps of faith, right? And so let's talk about the a breakthrough mindset and what that really is, right? So a breakthrough mindset is it's more than just optimism or positive thinking. It's really a framework for looking at your life and business with an empowered perspective. Like I never expect anything bad to happen or, you know, things that stop me from accomplishing what I want to accomplish. And that's all because of this breakthrough mindset that I have, right? And what I teach my clients to have. And what it means is you're actively seeking possibilities, not just reacting to problems. And for successful women entrepreneurs, this often looks like deciding to say yes to bigger deals, new partnerships, or bolder content strategies, right? It's the quiet confidence that no matter what roadblocks arise, you will figure out how to move through them. But what keeps many high achieving women from stepping into this space is often a mix of fear, comfort, and old narratives, right? Those inner stories that say, you're doing fine as you are. Don't risk it, right? Don't take any additional risk. That's a story. And what we have to understand is that these are invisible barriers that keep us stuck. And these barriers can take on many different forms, right? It may be an old belief that you feel like you've already reached your peak. You've accomplished as much as you can accomplish, or it could be that you're feeling like to get to the next level, there has to be a sacrifice of, some aspect of your personal life that you value deeply, and you're not willing to make that sacrifice. Those are internal barriers or invisible barriers that we carry and we constantly tell ourselves, right? It could even be a lingering doubt that you're not expert enough. You hear me talk a lot about the not enoughness, right? So that's one of them. We feel sometimes like we're not the expert on a subject matter, and we're not expert enough to speak on bigger stages or to charge even premium prices for our services. All of these barriers often hide behind rationalizations where we tell ourselves or we say things like, I'm too busy for that right now, or the market isn't ready for what I offer, right? Well, the key is to shine a light on these hidden stories and recognize them as just that, stories. They're not absolute truths. And when you challenge them, you create space for a new, more empowering narrative that supports your next level of growth, right? So, I'll tell you a story about an opportunity that I had I think it was in the month of October. A representative from the Salvation Army reached out to me and asked if I would be willing to come and speak to a group of women who were recently released from being incarcerated. And this is a part of one of the programs that they have in order to help these women reestablish themselves as productive citizens. While I was excited about the opportunity and even more excited that and honored that I was asked to come and speak to these women, immediately one of the invisible barriers set in, and it was coming from a place of fear. So the first thing I said to myself is, I don't know what to say to these women. I don't have materials for that. I don't have, a polished speech for that, or you know, I don't have anything for that. I don't have a presentation for that. And I had to really dig deep and understand where this was coming from to recognize again that it was coming from fear. And really, that's all it was. This was something that I had never been asked to do before. I have never spoken to a group of women who are in that position. And so I felt like I don't know enough, right? But after doing some really deep work and shifting my inner dialogue, that story that I was telling myself, I was able to realize that of course, I knew what to say to these women. Of course, I knew how to encourage and uplift and motivate and inspire these women. That's who I am, right? That is my calling. That is what I have done for the past 15 years professionally. But even before that, I remember being the little girl who my friends would always come to for advice, right? Or encouragement. So that's always been a part of who I am. But it took really shifting the inner dialogue and digging deep and looking at the story that I was telling myself to move me out of that position. So I postponed the opportunity, and I am now truly committed to reestablishing that connection and scheduling the opportunity to speak to these women. But as I stated, you have to do the work to shift the inner dialogue and change those stories. So, one of the ways that I do that for myself and I teach my clients to do that is through journaling, right? And it can be simple and very easy. You start with writing down where you want to be in 6 or 12 months from now. right? And then you note the reasons you believe you can't get there. What are those internal stories that you're telling yourself that says you can't accomplish that, right? And once you write them down and you look at them, you want to look at them and say, are they factual or are they fear based? And then you want to challenge each reason. Ask yourself, is this always true? Could I choose a different way to see this? What this exercise will do is expose the mental filters through which you're seeing your opportunities. And once you identify them, you can start to consciously reframe and choose more positive and supportive thoughts. For instance, if your barrier is, I need more credentials, because we tell ourselves that sometimes too. I need another certification, or I need another degree, right? So if the barrier is, I need more credentials, you might reframe that and say, I already have valuable experience that clients need right now. Just like I told myself, I know I already have valuable information that these women who are recently released from being incarcerated need right now in this moment, right? And what this reframing will do is erode the invisible wall that we've created that is between what we want and or where we are now and the next level that we want to achieve, right? There is that invisible wall that's right there. And until we reframe the story that we're telling ourselves to get rid of the the falsehoods that are surrounded in these stories, we won't move forward. So I hope this helps you to take the first step, right? And in recognizing, what are the stories? What are the barriers, the invisible barriers that I'm holding myself from accomplishing the thing that I really desire to accomplish, right? So stay tuned for the next episode in our series where I'll talk about cultivating unwavering confidence to step boldly into your next level of success. Remember, designing your victory is a choice, and you can start by reflecting on the barriers you've uncovered after listening to this and recognizing that they can be dismantled with intentional work and a shift in perspective. Until next time.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Business by Design podcast. If you love what you're hearing each week, let me know by leaving a rating and a review. And don't forget to follow the show so you don't miss out on proven mindset techniques, strategies, and tools to help you design your victory and create the business and life you desire. Also, if you're ready to talk about the business and life that you really want, head on over to valeriepriester.com and schedule your private business breakthrough clarity call. Until next week, remember, designing your victory is a choice. Start today.